Our new words for today are going to be, the first one is aware. So aware, it's an adjective and it's always followed by of. So I always have aware of. And when I am aware of something, I know it, I noticed it. Okay, so when I say I am aware of a problem, that means I realize there is a problem. I'm aware of what's happening around me, that means I'm aware of this thing, or I realize, I understand, or I know. Now we have the word moral. Moral. And what do you think the word moral is? Let's read the definition and try to guess. It's related to what is right and wrong in behavior. So how you act towards something. So what is right and what is wrong. So the moral, it's, guess the meaning. So it's the guide to your behavior into a good one. Okay, so we can say it in Arabic, العبرة. So what do we need from a story? So it's moral. So some stories can tell us something about being arrogant. So don't be arrogant. To be organized, to be kind. So this is the moral. So how to learn good behavior and avoid bad behavior. Another word we have here, we have the word empathy. Empathy. So empathy, it's your ability to understand and share someone else's feelings, to be able to understand how people feel. Okay, so this is empathy. So when someone is suffering, so I can understand what he is suffering from. When someone is happy, so I can share his happiness, okay, with him. So all these related to the word empathy. Empathy. And I have here the word critically. Critically. And this is an adverb. And how can I tell the word is an adverb or not? And this is the adverb of manner. So by adding ly. So most of the adjectives, when I add ly to them, or when I add the suffix ly to them, I change them to an adverb. So critically means to be careful and thoughtful, okay? Not just accepting things as they are. What does this mean? So when I criticize something, and this is the verb form of the adverb critically, it means that I think about it, I try to see whether it makes sense or not, and then I have my own judgment. So don't just listen or read something without criticizing it, okay? Now, I have the word spark, and spark, it's the verb. And what does it mean by spark? Spark means to start or to cause something to happen. Like, for example, I can say, this situation sparks a lot of ideas in your mind. That means starts a lot of ideas in my mind. The word various. Various, it's an adjective. And various means different. Okay, so I can say various types of fruit, various types of vegetables, various types of tools. So we can say different kinds or types, and many and not the same. So this is various. Okay, now it's time for preposition. And as I said before, prepositions are very important in English because all the meaning of the words can depend sometimes on them. Let's see. The first word we have here, or the first verb we have here, it's go. And when I say go, خلاص, I go to school. This is the verb. And what about by adding through? When I go through something, that means I experience a challenge or I face a difficulty. So the preposition through add another meaning to the verb go. Expose to. So when I expose something to, that means I can say, for example, I expose my skin to sun, for example. So I expose to, this is the phrasal verb I have here, expose to. I have here also the phrasal verb respond to. Respond to. It had the same meaning of reply. So when I respond to something, that means I reply to it. So I respond, maybe I can respond to a person, I can respond to a medicine, for example. So he responded to this medicine, okay? And I have point of view. And of course, this is not a phrasal verb because point is not a verb. So I have point of view, that means my opinion about something. Okay, now we are going to read the following text to know more about how stories can shape our thinking. Let's go. Reading stories can greatly improve the way we think and understand the world around us. Through reading, we enter the minds of different characters, face their challenges, and see how they respond to difficult situations. This allows us to explore various types of problems, emotional, social, and even moral, without having to go through them ourselves. So we don't have to experience them ourselves. Stories also introduce us to different points of view, cultures, and lifestyles, because the story is written from a different point of view. So different writers, they have different opinions, they have different perspectives. So stories can tell us more about the environment, about the countries, about the cultures, about the traditions. So it can really tell us about, introduce a lot of different point of views. As we read, we begin to develop empathy. So what is empathy? The ability to understand other people's feelings and how they think, and learn that problems can have more than one solution. So it is not a perfect thing to find one solution for a problem. No, one problem can have like many solutions. Seeing how characters solve the conflicts, because we call them characters, people in the story are characters, solve conflicts or make decisions, help us think about our own lives and think critically. So they push us to think, to judge about our choices. Moreover, stories spark our imagination, so they start the imagination and make learning more enjoyable. Think about someone who just gives you the advice directly, and someone just telling you this advice, the same advice, but in a context, in a story. Which one do you prefer? We often remember lessons better when they are part of a story. That's why many of us love reading stories. They entertain. What does it mean by entertain? They make us feel like amused, happy, pleased. So this is entertain. They entertain us, teach us important life skills. Sometimes they introduce a lot of life skills and help us grow mentally and emotionally. In the end, reading stories is not just for fun. It's also a powerful way to become wiser, so you think wisely and more aware of the world, so you will understand more about the world. And if I'm going to give you a good example of a story that we can learn from, it's the story about the school garden project. Think about it. So you are entertained while reading it, and at the same time, you are learning various lessons, various morals about what to do and what not to do. Now, it's time to answer some questions related to the text that we have just read. How do stories increase our awareness? How do stories increase our awareness? Let's see. If you have the books, try to find the answer with me. Okay, so let's see. Reading stories can greatly improve the way we think. This is awareness, and awareness, it's the noun from the verb aware. Okay, so when the adjective aware, so when I am aware of something, that means I understand it, like here. Improve the way we think and understand the world around us. Okay, why do many people read stories? Okay, try to find it in the passage. Because stories entertain us, teach us important life skills, and help us grow mentally and emotionally. So our minds grow. Does it mean it gets bigger? No, it gets better. Okay, in your opinion, okay, that means I'm going to express my opinion. What is the most valuable lesson a person can learn from reading a story? Okay, so let's discover. So reading a story in itself is a powerful way to become wiser, so you can think carefully and more aware of the world, and you can know about different world around you.
تقدر تتابع كل دروسك على تطبيق مدرستنا بلس. مدرستنا، المستقبل يبدأ الآن.